I want you to come back to New York, he says, and I can make things very good for you. I said to him, but I was in New York, and it was nothing but a disaster for me. Why should I believe that coming back now should be good for me? I said, I'm very happy in Canada, and that's where I'm going to stay. He says, Bruno, he says, you belong in New York. But I knew, because I was having correspondence with some people, and I knew how bad things were in New York. So he said to me, listen, he says, I'll do for you what I haven't done for anybody. And I said, what's that? I will give you a minimum $500 a week guarantee. Today sounds like peanuts, but we're talking about
that's a lot of money back then.
62, 63, you know. And I said, no, I said, that doesn't do it. So he says, well, now you're being stubborn. He says, what do you mean $500? He says, you're not making that in Canada. I says, pretty close to it. I said, I'm right there. I said, but more than that, I'm happy here. I says, Frank's TV goes all over Canada. I said, I'm booked in Winnipeg. I'm booked in Vancouver. I'm booked in Montreal. I said, no. I said, no, thank you. So I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, Vince, I'm sorry, but I got to go. And I hung up. 2 weeks later, he calls back. And he said to me, okay, I'll tell you what, he said, even though we really can do this, he says, but I'm willing to, we'll give you $750 a week to come back. And I said, no. He says, well, what is it going to take for you to come back? I says, guarantee me a match with Buddy Rogers. I knew Buddy was behind a lot of the stuff that had gone on.
So you were trying to get through the politics here.
Yeah, well, you know, Bill, I'll say in front of the cameras, if you go back enough, you know that Buddy Rogers and I, there was never a good relationship. Yes, there was a very disliking of each other. He disliked me, and I disliked him a lot. And so I said, that was my demand, to meet Buddy Rogers. Buddy won't do it. Buddy isn't going to do it. I said, well, then it's your problem. I said, it's up to you to make this thing happen. I said, you want me back? I said, that's my insurance that you have plans for where I can do well. Without that, I says, nothing else matters. I says, I stay where I'm at. He says, I'll get back to you. So him and Toots had a very private meeting with me, and they said, there's only one way we're going to get Buddy to go in the ring with you. We have to let him know that you've been bought for a figure. I said, what figure? He says, $3,500 we're going to tell him. That for $3,500, you're willing to fall for him.
Right.
I said, I don't care what you tell the guy. I said, but that's the only way. So it was a very big secret. Not a soul knew about it. We swore to secrecy at the time. Nobody must know, because if Buddy got a whiff of it, he would fake some kind of an injury prior to the show and not show up, and because of an injury, and the thing would never take off. At the same time, I had a problem because I didn't want to start off with knowing that I was some kind of a double crosser, this and that, amongst my peers. So see, nobody knows these stories because this was such a well-kept secret at the time.
That's why we're here.